while. I'm not going to show you everything yet, but this is going to be amazing. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my workshop. This is leopardwood. Very heavy, very dense, really interesting grain patterns. I'm going to turn this big board into a bowl. I appreciate you joining me. The first thing I'm going to do is make a base for the bowl. And since this board is about 4 inches wide, I'm cutting 2 8-inch pieces and I'll glue those together. But first I'm going to flatten the edges. So I'll glue that up and let it sit overnight. It's easier to start with a round, so that's what I'm doing here. The inner circles there that you see are drawn on there for the sake of the base plate, which is how I'm going to initially attach this to the lathe. And here I'm just verifying the width of the board one more time before I cut it into strips. And I've got my ripping blade on there, and I'll be cutting 1-inch strips. The next step is at the chop saw, where I've got it set to 11.25 degrees. I'm going to be making 3 different rings. But here I'm just showing the cuts for 1 ring. I didn't show the glue up. I'm just showing the completion of that process. They all turned out real nice. I'll have to flatten them. But you can see they're all 3 different sizes, stepping from small to large. And once I have these nice and flat, I'm going to glue all 3 rings together and leave them sitting overnight. Meanwhile, I'll work on the base of the bowl first. And the first part of the base of the bowl is to make it completely round, nice and true, and then I'll flatten out the bottom and get it set up for my 4-jaw chuck, which I like to use in the expansion mode. At this point, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted the design of this, it's almost a pedestal, to be. I was just going to make a nice concave pattern. But then I decided to go a little bit more detailed, give it a little bit more design. So here I'm just marking for the mortise, which is what I'm going to use the 4-jaw chucks with to hold on to this bowl. And the inner circle there is for the ID coin. This will be number 76. And I'm using that board in combination with the sandpaper just to make sure that it's perfectly flat. I sanded everything up to 500 grit, and then I used Axe abrasive paste, followed up with the Axe polish. I apologize for all the noise in the video. It's my dust collection system. It does a good job, but goodness, it's noisy. And you can see in the very center there, it looks like there's a crack. It's just a flaw. It's not the glue line. But it was a point of concern, which made me use a band clamp like I had never used before. But there you can see I fixed that little flaw. I didn't hide it completely, but it's fixed. And there's the band clamp. I'm just using that to hold everything together. I'm not sure it was entirely necessary, but it felt like the right thing to do. So I did it. And I was very aware of where that band was, because it was in a position where, one slip, it could have torn my hand up. So once I had that perfectly flat, I added the rings and then used the lathe as a clamp. And I let that set for about 6 hours before I moved on to finishing out this bowl. Just slightly off center, you can see that, but it doesn't matter. It's all going to work out. I've made leopardwood pens, but I've never used leopardwood to make a bowl like this. I wasn't really sure what to expect. You saw a lot of dust in the beginning, but to my surprise, I got a lot of splinters while I was turning this. It just had to pluck them out of my hand every now and then. It's funny, I've got a nice set of gloves that I wear sometimes when I turn, and I didn't this time, and I certainly should have. But look at those shavings. Beautiful. Once I roughed down all those edges, all the splinters stopped, thank goodness. And that's where those fine shavings came from. Now, this being leopardwood, I expected some really pretty grain patterns, but I wasn't certain how it was going to look. Nothing had shown itself yet, but it was about to. Oh, wow. There's something special about wood, and as simple as that might sound, you just never know what you're going to find inside of it. The grain is just constantly surprising me, in good ways. I'm just going to keep it a secret for a little while. I was getting excited, though. now I'm going to show you what I've been seeing. Right there. And this axe, the finish, really made this grain pop. This wood is so pretty. I'm not certain why some of the segments showed the grain pattern like it did and others didn't. But that doesn't bother me. I love the contrast in there. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. That is some beautiful grain. Goodness. I hope you are too, and I sure appreciate you joining me. A little bit of chatoyance in there, mixed up with that crazy grain. Beautiful color. It's got some wow factor. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Until then, God bless and Semper Fi.